In September of this year, Valve took a stand against asset flip games on Steam. For those of you who have watched my Moonbase 332, Horror in the Asylum, Worst KC or other videos will understand the concept. Taking pre-made assets, usually from the Unity engine, and pumping out a quick game. With that being said, I'd like to outline that Borean Media Enterprises, makers of Dark Shadows Army of Evil and Worst Case C, aren't truly guilty of this, considering the two games' release dates are rather far apart, indicating time and effort went into each one rather than churning out shit for the sake of capitalising on an abusable development scheme. Perhaps the assets weren't original, but using pre-made textures and models isn't necessarily bad. I mean, look at all the Half-Life mods and Source mods in general. But I wanted to outline asset flipping at its very worst. And so enters Valkyala Software, a company that has produced 9 games between July of 2016 and September of 2017, 3 of which have been released in July alone. Are Valkyala a hard-working indie developer, or are they a prime example of asset flipping? Let's find out. 9 games though. It's going to be a challenge. I'm up for a challenge.
You alright?
Hospital.
What?
Need it. I need a hospital. Tales of Destruction was the first game released by Valkyala in July of 2016, and unfortunately it seems that the game's Steam page starts ticking some rather incriminating boxes. Negative user reviews, an image of plain text over an unrelated background, and a description that lists basic game mechanics as selling points. Not looking good so far. Tales of Destruction currently comes with 9 maps, 1 open world, and 2 weapons. So it was clear you guys sort of phoned it in after the newest FPS line, huh? Contra has more weapons than that. That was back in 1987. The menu is pretty simple, it has to be said. There's no options, there's an open world button for some fucking reason. As you can probably tell from the sound of my voice, I am beside myself with anticipation, so let's just begin. Oh, it's happening! Oh, I'm feeling weak! What is going on here? What is all this supposed to be? What am I looking at, even? Is this just an arena FPS with fucking AI? Just some open world asset dump of a cube I'm trapped in while AI lamely plink at each other? It's broken. It's broken. Look at this. You click to fire and then the mouse stops aiming the weapon. So you can no longer look around or fire. Only way to fix it? Hold right mouse button to aim down the sights, and only during that time can you look with the mouse again. Not to mention the AI, with all the survival instinct of a lemming loyal to the fucking Taliban, rushing directly at you to sponge as many bullets to the face as possible. Every bloody gun and enemy has some sort of random texture pasted on it. The sounds are cheap and poorly connected to the guns, and the movement is terrible. Oh, and that second weapon, the second weapon that was touted as a selling point, you know that one? It shoots bolognese sauce! There does not seem to be any coherent rules for the objects either. Some bloom like the fucking sun, as items in poorly made Unity games seem to do. There are walls you can walk through and others you can't. Some objects just don't fucking exist, and you walk through water like it's poorly coloured air. And this is the part where I remind you that this game was released on July 14th, 2016. Over a year ago. Plenty of time to fix all of these bugs. But hey ho, I bet you're curious about that open world button I mentioned on the menu, eh? And you want to know about the open world bit? Do ya? You know, in an arena PvE FPS shooter, the fucking open world bit? Let me show you, friends! It's just a giant field that goes on, and on, and on, and there's pirate treasure at the end. I can forgive asset flip graphics, I can forgive poor English on the menus, and shitty guns that fire pasta sauce. But can I forgive poorly rendered 2D seagulls? The next game on our list is called Finish Roller, as in, I wish I was finished with this series so I could roll her on out of here.
Boo.
Really? Well, that sure is a menu, all right. At least we have an options this time, so that's a step in the right direction. That's what we call progress. I'm sorry, select your pawn. Is this a fucking chess? Let's go with Fireball. Keep things nice and simple. Don't want to jump to door or coral straight away, do we? Okay, first impressions are bad. But just stick with me here. Just bear with me. The music, although certainly unoriginal, is quite endearing. Oh, fuck it. It's cute, alright? And call me what you will, I'm a sucker for cute things. I dig them. So I sort of get a little, I don't know, mushy when I hear this sort of music. Music like this tends to make everything better.
Sarah. Baby. Run.
As for everything else, well, it's horrendous, and I can say that straight-faced. It's like Rock of Ages without any sense of speed, excitement, plot, or design. It's a maze puzzle with a 3D ball. And this concept isn't all that numerous in terms of full-on releases, but you'll find plenty of them online, especially on flash game sites. But there's nothing special about it. I mean, the music is quaint enough you could call the ball Mr. Bollock in Asset Escapades and market it as a 90s platformer, but this is some of the poorest sphere physics I think I've ever seen. So, let me explain. For a start, the momentum of the ball is rather odd. When you hold a direction in air, you spin in that direction. But instead of touching down and losing some of that spinning momentum, the simple concept of inertia means nothing to Finish Roller. As soon as your furiously spinning orb touches solid ground, you go fucking flying. Which tends to mean that if you're in a platforming section, which are numerous by the way, you need to make sure the ball isn't moving in the air at all before it lands. And it is arduous. Not to mention whatever's going on here.
Ooh, you suck.
Okay, next up, Inferno Puzzle, and at least there's no open world option with this one. Classy. What the fuck is this? A sliding puzzle with tiles of angry zombies, skulls and... oh my god, Uncle Jim? And the background is just... it's just piled up skulls, man. This isn't a game, this is something you send to a mate who's really into edgy humour. And as far as gameplay goes, it's a tile puzzle! Edgy humour? I wouldn't know a thing about it. Oh look, my glass is empty. Time for a top-up, I believe. Yes. Get all that in there. Right to the top. You swap tiles, you get lines of 3 or more, and they break to give you points. It's a tile puzzle. There's this meter at the side which challenges you to get as many points in a certain amount of moves as possible, and it will judge you at the end of each level before moving on to the next one. Oh yeah, and there's 21 fucking levels, and they're all the same. I want to fucking die! Fuck this! Next game! Next up, Labyrinth Escape. Help. They won't tell me where I am and I can't get out. Help. Okay, never before have I been so confused at the start of a game. You're just in this fucking square with 2 blood red mirrors either side. How is this supposed to work? Is the title ironic? Am I giving them too much credit that they could design a labyrinth? Do they know what a labyrinth is? Can you even escape? Scientists don't put lab rats in a fucking four-sided maze because that's called a cage. I think this one is over. I mean, I have this gun that fires corks that are painted to look like bullets. I'm shooting at the red bits, but they don't seem to break. What is the point of...
You shoot walls with a gun that fall over and let you through the maze. No.
Well, it's never been done before. Shooting your way out of a maze, it's not been done before as far as I know, so I guess you could call this game original, as well as all of these other things. It is at least original. You just end up shooting random walls in each labyrinth, and there's these fucking bombs that are just piled up everywhere. It just elongates every level pointlessly.
Lawnmower game. This one could be good, right? I mean one of these has got to be good, right?
Him only idea is to cut grass and collect yellow fuel cans and gasoline not go to zero. Yep, okay, that's all I need to read. Let's get on with it, come on.
You're right there, man? You're just gonna be sitting on your little lawnmower there, not gonna move at all or show any signs of life. Not getting any shoes on. Going au natural. Okay. Whoa! Look out there, we got a live one.
For as ridiculous as this whole concept for a game is, that is purchasable on Steam right now for actual money, Lawnmower Game is the most functional of the entire catalogue. It hurts to say that. It is simplistic, to be sure. It's downright bare bones, to be frank. But there are games that thrive on being laid-back, enjoyable experiences. Meadow and Fool are two games that immediately spring to mind. Lawnmower Game isn't one of them. It's relatively buggy if you try to go off-road. And the game world is rather small and barren. There's no music, just the comforting sounds of a ride-on lawnmower. And it lacks any sort of challenge or enjoyment. So I decided to make a story to keep myself occupied of this very humble man and his lawnmower. Enjoy.
This is Stefan. Every day, Stefan gets up in the morning to mow his 2 grassy fields. It's something he loves. He has a wife and 2 cats, but Stefan values his mower more. His mower doesn't talk back or spend all his money. Stefan rides the Stego Tornado 3108H multi-clip lawn tractor with a 4-stroke petrol engine and 540 cc's of pure mowing perfection. It's the mower that makes a boy feel like a man. It gives him freedom. When not mowing the lawn or getting caught on rocky river banks, Stefan takes his mower into the local town. People have stopped greeting Stefan as they once did, considering his lawn mower makes a dreadful noise as it glides through the streets. But Stefan does not mind. He's just happy to be riding his mower, and away from the blood-sucking leeches he calls his cats. Stefan is happy. Stefan is free. Stefan will not kill again. Not if he's left to mow, that is.